Scooby-Doo, 5-minute stories. The Mixed Up Museum by Gail Herman, illustrated by Duendes del Sur. Scooby-Doo and the gang wandered around Velma's favorite place, the Museum of Natural History. They were in the Great Dinosaur Hall. Large dinosaur skeletons peered down at them as a crowd of people oohed and awed. "Look at that!" Velma exclaimed. "A real live Brachiosaurus skeleton." "Amazing," Fred said. "Right?" Scooby said. The Brachiosaurus looked too real for Scooby and Shaggy. They knew everything in the museum was only bones and life-sized animal figures, but they still decided to leave that place and get some grub. Shaggy looked around and found a security guard. "Like, what's the best place to chow down?" he asked. "The cafeteria is that way," the guard said. He waved his arm to point behind him and knocked over a sign. "Oops. I have new glasses and I'm still getting used to them, but I can lead you to the cafeteria. I have to go there to start closing the museum." A few minutes later, Shaggy and Scooby had emptied the salad bar, the soda machines, and everything in between. Why am I not surprised? "Like, I get why Velma likes the museum so much," Shaggy said, munching on a juicy tomato. "This food is delicious." But their feast was interrupted as the cafeteria lights began flickering. Then, shouts started echoing around them. Something was happening. "Come on, Scoob!" Shaggy said, dropping his fork. "Let's find our friends and get out of here!" Scooby and Shaggy raced back to the dinosaur hall. When they arrived, they found that chaos had erupted in the room. People were screaming and pointing at the dinosaur skeletons. Scooby and Shaggy learned why. The Brachiosaurus skeleton swung its mighty head and snapped its jaws. One leg moved, then another. "It's alive!" a boy shouted. Everyone ran in fright. "Don't panic," Velma yelled, trying to calm the crowd. "There has to be a logical explanation for this." Just then, a shadow fell over the gang. The dinosaur roared above their heads. "Run!" Fred shouted. They raced out of the dinosaur hall and found themselves in a room full of animals. The elephants raised their trunks and stomped their feet. The whole museum had come to life. Kind of like Night at the Museum. "Jinkies," Velma said, looking at the display. "What is going on here?" "It looks like we have a mystery to solve," Fred said. "But we can't hang around," Shaggy insisted. "It's closing time. Like, let's go!" Fred, Velma, and Daphne stopped in front of a gorilla exhibit. The gorillas were swinging from vine to vine, but they stayed inside their display. In fact, none of the animals in the museum had left their displays. Even the dinosaurs hadn't followed the gang outside their hall. "I think we're safe here," Fred said to the skeptical Scooby and Shaggy. "Row way!" Scooby protested. He and Shaggy tried to leave again. "Let's row!" "Would you stay for a Scooby snack?" Daphne asked. Just then a loud howl filled the air. Scooby shook his head. How about 2 Scooby snacks? Asked Velma. They had a deal. Great, Fred said. Now let's look for clues. Maybe the security guard can help us. Shaggy and Scooby led the way down a long, dark hallway to the security guard's office. With every step, they heard strange animal sounds. Then, they heard a loud moan coming from behind a door with a keep out sign on it. Zoinks! It's a scary jungle beast! Shaggy yelped. He and Scooby tried to run away, but Fred, Velma, and Daphne pushed them toward the door. The sign says keep out, and that's what I want to do, Shaggy said. Taking the lead, Velma swung the door open and found the security guard. It was the museum's control room. What's going on in here? Velma asked. Well, the security guard said, I came in here to close down the museum, but I can't see very well. I'm afraid I pressed all the wrong buttons, and I can't quite get it right. With some help from the gang, the guard quickly fixed everything, and the museum grew quiet. Then came a long, loud rumble. Everyone jumped. That's just Scooby's tummy, Shaggy said. Hey, can you flip one switch back on? The lights for the cafeteria? The gang laughed as Scooby and Shaggy stared longingly at the video of it on the security screen. Even a dinosaur couldn't scare away their appetites. Of course. What is your favorite thing about the museum? Let me know in the comments below. See you later. Bye.